Hello, my pipe sipping community. I want to start off by giving a solid shout out. There obviously is the reception of just the people who find the channel, whether it's through the YouTube algorithm or from a search that they made. But then you have viewers such as old Uncle Mike, who will go so far as to have St. David Pipes do a shout out, which was great because then I actually got to go on to St. David's Pipes channel and subscribe to that and see all that content. Because I'll be honest, as much as I enjoy doing these reviews, I also obviously quite enjoy watching others as well. And it was actually nice too because the exact same morning that I woke up and was checking on the management of my channel, that I saw that there was all these individuals that were coming in saying that they had been sent by St. David. And so I was like, I don't know who this is. I haven't seen him in my comment section. So when I went onto his channel, I actually see this video that he had done as a favor to old Uncle Mike. So, which was a shout out to mine, which was just awesome. And it was great because literally that evening before I went to bed, as anybody who has a channel knows, there's lots of trolls. There's just lots of hate and resentment in this world, and somehow that trickles out into people who view our stuff. Although this one, my wife and I did have to laugh because the individual was saying that they could tell from my appearance that I am a very serious stoic person, paraphrasing, and that my attempts to be humorous and cute were BS and took away from my material. I am the youngest of 4 siblings, 3 older sisters, only boy, and could not be the biggest ham.
1, 2, 3, 4.
In fact, these reviews were probably the more serious side of me that you will actually see. If you were here sipping a pipe with me and just having a normal conversation, the content and the manner that it would be given are quite different. But anyways, it was great to receive such warming welcome. So with all that said, I have some blends coming in from an order. Sadly, one of them that I wanted to review and also to grab was the Kringle cake from Sutliff. So, not full, but slight transparency, only because I don't want to dig my own grave here. But due to where I have moved to, there is a propensity in this state to shun particular vices and in such there is no brick and mortars that sell specialty tobaccos, that is for sure, and the order of such materials is also forbidden. All about the forbidden fruit. So I am literally limited thus far from what I can find to one provider. I don't want that one provider to all of a sudden no longer start shipping, because I will then have to literally go to Vegas to get my pipe supplies, and it's a drive. But with that said, really limits what I can get, and how Johnny on the spot I have to be to get any kind of a specialty blend. So I wanted the Kringle Cake 2023. I was all excited. Comes right out in beginning of December. Sold out. Like, sold out within, like, I think it was like, I was only like 2 days shy of the release, and big old out of stock label over the graphic. There was some conversing back and forth with from one of the viewers here on the channel, Landon Hamilton, yeah. There's a number in there too, but we were discussing different blends, and having gone from, I believe it was Landon that had also gone from like cigars and journeyed into the pipe world, but we were talking about Hunting Creek by Country Squire, which is a English aromatic. I like aromatics, particular ones, and I also love straight blends, early in Virginia, and I also really love an English and an Oriental forward. English is my favorite. So I was curious, and Landon Hamilton, if you hear this, I'm also still curious, because I know that they said that they were going to be ordering it, or had ordered it. So I'm curious what your take was, and I'm also curious what anybody else's take is on this. So I'm curious for that one. That one's coming in. In the meantime, for right now, I'm not sure if I need to be careful about how I describe this now, but Country Squire had a certain series of blends, house blends, that were under the umbrella of a particular title that was congruent with a certain central location of the planet Earth. And there was a blend of an old someone. Anyways, this stuff has all been now renamed. I don't know if it's been reblended. I don't know if they changed their blends at all when they changed this. But this is that one, the one that shall not be named, Old T. Which inadvertently I ordered 4 ounces of when I had originally ordered this blend. That's a whole lot of Old Tea. Which is fine. I mean, I keep it tight in a mason jar, and it comes quite wet, this blend. So there's going to be no issues with it drying out, even, out here in our desert climate. I'll have some blends where I might need to spritz it with a little bit of distilled water and put it back in the jar. But it's, this one is not the case. So even though I have 4 ounces, it's good. And it's a good blend in the fact that it's, I mean, it is an aromatic, but it's not a pungent flavored aromatic. It's really just the sugary casing. And this is the consensus from every review I've ever read or heard on this blend, that it's just sweet as far as the flavoring. Just sweet. But it's not like as though it doesn't have any flavor. It does. Burley, Perique, and Virginia are the leaves that they used for this, for the blend. Which is kind of neat, because it's like, yes, it's an aromatic, but it doesn't sip like an aromatic, and in the sense that it's not as though it's not maple, and it's not deep vanilla and caramel and maybe some chocolate or what. It's nothing like that. It's just that you have the flavor of the blend. It's just been kind of candied. and not in like a chemical kind of way either, just in a, because sometimes it's like the casing almost has like a saccharin sweet, like an aspartame or some sort of an artificial sweetener sweet with a lot of arrows. But that's not the case with this one. It's not chemically sweetened. It just really kind of almost like you used some sort of a granule sugar sweet. And so below that casing, below that sweetness, a lot of times I'll hear people mention the dark fruit component to blends, and there's certain blends that are very much blended to give that. Unequivocally, when you were sipping this, there's a dark fruit component, at least that I get from this. And I'm guessing from the Virginia, but there's and it's not a lot of times you get that sweet hay, as if if you've gone by a field that's just literally been hayed, there's that sweetness to it. I don't get the hay part, but what I do get is more of just like a summertime grass, and I don't mean like fresh cut grass. So it's definitely more of the, you just laid down a blanket at a park, and you lay down and you can smell, like, especially on a really warm day, you can just smell that grass smell. It has that kind of a flavor to it. And with that sweetness too, just to kind of go back to that part, because obviously it is an aromatic, and that is a piece, there is almost like a brown sugar, but again, more of how brown sugar smells than how it tastes. My Nana, my Italian grandmother, used to keep, any of you that are growing up in the 70s into the 80s will remember perhaps these little like plastic jars that had a lid where you kind of push on the top. When you put it down, it kind of created a vacuum. Hers had like it was that 70s into the 80s beige kind of color, and it had frogs on them, and that came in different sizes to put different things like flour and sugar and whatever. So she had one that had brown sugar in it, and I remember as a kid that when I'd open up that jar, just the smell that would come up from that, right? There's that taste in this. So that's really it with this blend. It's I don't want to say that it's a basic blend. It's not. It doesn't wow me. Like, this isn't one of those blends where like, man, it's just such a good blend. It's not a bad blend. Luckily, because I have 4 ounces of it, or I had 4 ounces of it. But it's nice when it's like, I want a good blend, something that's got some good flavor to it. But I don't necessarily have the time to sit like this and relax. But I still kind of want to have a pipe, which I will do from an occasion, depending on what's going on. I like this blend for that. If I might just be grilling and, just doing some stuff around the yard. But I'm kind of in the mood for a pipe too. This is a good blend for that. I'm not going to sit here and necessarily get lost in thought and enjoy the adventure of all the little nuanced flavors that I can get out of the blend. This is not that for me. But it is nice. It is pleasant. As far as tongue bite goes, because again, this is Arrow. I don't have any issues with this one for tongue bite. Again, I say that with the caveat of I typically don't powerhouse and sip like a choo-choo train on my pipe, so they tend to not get very warm. That is my thoughts on Old Tea, and looking forward to the other blends coming in to review those with you. Also have a new Peterson Christmas 2023 pipe that will be coming in shortly. Hopefully within the same time that those blends are coming in. It's coming from the actual Peterson site, so it takes a hot minute for it to get out here, but looking forward to that. That was a little early Christmas gift to myself. But yeah, so be well. Look forward to hearing all the comments. Really do appreciate you all. The support it's been fantastic. The comments, keep them coming. I will absolutely interact with you. Some people play Sudoku. Some people spend hours on Pinterest. I enjoy this, and I enjoy the communications back and forth. That's my downtime. So for sure, like, subscribe, and please comment. And hopefully we'll be doing those new blends shortly.